Well. This is the IWC's Lord and Savior. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video here on Willie Does Wrestling. I am expecting this video to be my most hated in my YouTube career. But you know what? I honestly don't give a fuck, okay? Tony Khan, man. I feel like we talk about the guy way too fucking much. But you know what? The guy can't stop embarrassing himself at this point. And I feel like there's not enough people talking about it. And the situation today further proves my point that Tony Khan is a fucking rich boy who's only a boss because he has daddy's money. But personal vendetta aside, let's talk about why Tony Khan is really trending today. Today, he went on another one of his cocaine-induced Twitter temper tantrums. What did he talk about today? Well, if you guys don't know, last night on Monday Night Raw, it was announced that next week, Jinder Mahal will be facing Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Why? Well, Jinder Mahal came out, interrupted Seth Rollins. They got in a little bit of a brawl. They had a very good promo. Obviously, the week before, Jinder Mahal had that segment with The Rock. So Jinder Mahal is on this big rise, at least for these past couple of weeks. And I feel like Tony Khan is a little too upset that everyone is completely okay with Jinder Mahal challenging Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, because I guess he must have been reading some IWC comments and people are a little bit, and he's a little bit upset that people were calling out the fact that Hook called out Samoa Joe for the World Championship, and he's mad that people criticize that decision by having Hook challenge for the World Championship, and that not a lot of people are complaining about Jinder challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship. 5 hours ago, he tweeted this. A double standard. Hook, 28-1 career record on winning streak, calls out the champ. A logical challenge sparks online outrage. Honestly, I didn't see a lot of people really complain that Hook can challenge Samoa Joe. I saw a couple tweets. Honestly, I saw more people complain about Jinder challenging for the World Championship than Hook, but that's a story for another day. Jinder has literally lost every single match he's been in for the past year, immediately gets a title shot. Where is the rage? And then he has to pull his whole AEW Dynamite tomorrow on TBS. Go fuck yourself. No one's watching. He goes on this. Okay, so let's talk about this. 28-1 career record. So, on winning streak, calls out the champ. Yes, calls out the champ in a back alleyway wearing an emo hoodie, and he's like, you know what, man? I know he doesn't actually talk like this. I call out Samoa Joe. What does Jinder Mahal do? Goes out to the ring, confronts the champion face to face. They get in a bit of a brawl. There's a bit of a storyline there. Listen, Tony, I know you're a terrible booker, but you're a great matchmaker, right? Like, come on, man. A logical challenge. No, it wasn't. It's literally the same build as you would give to a title match on Rampage or a title match on Collision. It's just a backstage segment. Hey, I call you out. The champion's like, okay, and then the match happens. At least with Jinder, he came out and he called out the champion and they got into a brawl. And he pissed off Rollins enough to actually give him a title match. He didn't do the Tony Khan version, you stupid fucking twig. I'm so sick and tired of that. And I love how Tony Khan, Mr. Unite Pro Wrestling, he goes on a whim, and then he's like, Jinder lost every match he's been in for the past year, and he immediately gets a title shot. And then he gets mad. Where's the rage? Basically, I'm being bullied. I'm being bullied. Oh my God, why is nobody like me? Oh, by the way, AEW's tomorrow on TBS. Give me views. I feel like Tony Khan must have listened to the wrong people, and he probably thinks controversy creates cash. No, it doesn't. Controversy creates nobody taking your goddamn company seriously. And I've said it on Twitter, and I've said it numerous times on my channel. Tony Khan is making it harder and harder and harder for me to like AEW. I like AEW programming. I think AEW has... And I know everyone's going to go into my comments, especially people who have never been on my channel before, and they're going to say, oh my God, you hate Tony Khan, which means you hate AEW. I don't hate AEW. I think AEW has one of the most stacked rosters in the history of professional wrestling. Whether or not they're being booked good is a topic for another day. But I do love their roster. I love the storylines. I love a lot of their talent. Most of their talent are my favorite professional wrestlers of all time. Adam Copeland, Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, MJF, Adam Cole, John Moxley. There is a shit ton. Anyways, that's only Tony Khan's first tweet. There's more. And what really sparked it was these guys do have history. Raj Giri tweeted, these guys do have history. Seth Rollins defeated Jinder Mahal in the tournament finals to become the first NXT champion. Tony Khan got that mad over USA Network saying, what was the cage match rating? Cage match obviously being the wrestling database where there's a lot of ratings and they keep track of a bunch of matches a lot of wrestlers have. Anyway, cage match is really known for rating shows and rating matches. Basically the more credible version of Dave Meltzer. So anyway, he responded to USA saying, what was the cage match rating? Tony Khan says, a moral victory for USA is one win more than their world title challenger Jinder Mahal has in the past 364 days. Maybe it's been literally a full year, because it's literally been a full year since he won a match. You really put AEW in our place getting Jinder Mahal in a big match on your TV show. Do it more often. He's that mad that Jinder Mahal is getting a title match. He's more focused on a WWE storyline than his own roster, the amount of controversies most of their roster is in, including the most recent Chris Jericho shit. He's worried more about that than booking better shows, booking your women better. No, he's more worried about why does Jinder have a title match? But when two people criticized me for making Hook challenge Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship, I'm being bullied, but Hunter's not being bullied. So he's going on this big anti-Jinder campaign. Like, Jinder Mahal has done about as much to earn a world title match as Hook did. The only difference between Jinder Mahal and Hook, besides building the match between Jinder and Rollins, Jinder Mahal's a former champion. What title does Hook have? Ah, that's right. A handmade title from his father. Fuck off. Then I think he goes off on Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff says, hey, Tony Khan, is this true or is it a bot? And he responds by this. So there's a little bit of a lore here. Jonathan Coachman says, We also used to get amused at fans who counted wins like wrestlers earned them. Hell, if Vince wanted, I could have been world champion. But the storyline didn't support it. It's about the story, clearly, not wins in a predetermined space. Thought a boss would understand that. Obviously, Coachman's going on because Tony Khan's all going on about how Jinder Mahal hasn't won a match. And Hook won 28-1 in his AEW career. The coach is like, it doesn't matter. There's a story here, obviously, because Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins have a story. This guy tweets out, Tony forgets that he literally gave Abaddon a title shot after being off AEW TV for over a year. The same exact situation as Jinder. So Eric Bischoff's like, hey, is this true? Basically like, hey, Abaddon got a title shot on pay-per-view, mind you. Tony Khan says, no, Eric Bischoff, not true at all. Abaddon returned to AEW Plus. Then they won a 4-way match on TNT against other great wrestlers to earn a title shot, which is completely different than someone going a full year, losing every match they're in, and getting a title shot without a single win. So I don't understand. And then Tony Khan says, reading would be your friend, Eric. So he's being completely hypocritical here. So he's criticizing Jinder Mahal getting a world title match from confronting the champion and them getting in a brawl after having a very good promo. And then he tries to justify giving Abaddon the shot for the TBS championship. But he's completely contradicting himself. Abaddon returned to AEW after over a year away, and they won a 4-way match on TNT against other great wrestlers to earn a title shot. Yeah, 1 win. 1. Like, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? So you mean to tell me if Jinder Mahal would have won a number 1 contenders match before getting the match with Rollins, then you'd have nothing to worry about? Because this is basically the exact same thing. A jobber or a lower mid-carder pops up, gets a title match. The only difference is, in Tony Khan's mind, if you win one random fatal 4-way match, it's completely justified. You deserve a shot. Like, I don't think Tony Khan really knows what goes on in his fucking head. Like, and obviously, I gave my 2 cents on Twitter. But I'm not a big fan of Tony Khan. I don't know if you guys fucking notice. But, yeah, no, I saw this at school and I lost my fucking mind. Yeah, I basically went off here. What did I say? I never realized how much I repost until I actually check my Twitter back, especially if I'm checking my Twitter for a video. Oh yeah, I said facts. Abaddon did jack shit for years and then automatically got a title match after 1 TV match, and it was enough for her to get a rematch on pay-per-view for a title. Hook did jack shit to get a shot. All he did was cut a promo. Meanwhile, Tony, Jinder did nothing to get a title shot. Where's the rage? And then I put a clown emoji. I said it before and I'll say it again. No matter how good the shows are, Tony Khan's temper tantrums make it more and more harder to take AEW remotely seriously. Gets mad that Jinder gets a title match, but all Hook had to do was, I call out Samoa Joe. AEW, okay, make it make sense. And then I said, this is not how you promote your shows, because he did the whole AEW Dynamite tomorrow. I said Tony needs to retire. Yeah, and then I said, not Tony having a temper tantrum about Jinder getting a world title match while he gives every jobber and lower mid-carder under the fucking sun title matches that mean nothing every single week. This is your Lord and Savior IWC. Give me a fucking break. Embarrassing. And I don't think Tony Khan realizes how this really embarrasses his company. Like, he needs to hire a fucking PR team. And I'm not talking about a disciplinary committee full of his fucking friends. You know what I mean? But I shouldn't be surprised considering he let CM Punk go off about Kenny Omega and the Bucks for fucking however long in the All Out Media Scrum and didn't do anything. This is literally what happens if we were to let a member of the IWC be the boss of a wrestling company. The only difference between you and him is he has a shit ton of money. That's it. That's basically it. And I said on my tweet, this is your Lord and Savior, because I swear to God, everyone thinks this guy is just the fucking God's gift of wrestling. No, okay? He is single-handedly embarrassing his fucking company. I feel bad for any member of the AEW locker room. I think someone needs to smack Tony in the fucking face and wake him up. Are you sure this guy's a businessman? Because I don't. I think this guy is just a fucking absolute spazzy nerd who feels like, I got daddy's money and now I'm gonna book all these random matches that mean absolutely nothing. And I said, like I don't understand. Like, when are people going to wake up and realize that Tony Khan is everything that's wrong with AEW? Oh, but you just said his shows are good. So? Just because the shows are good doesn't mean this piece of shit is. Like, I don't understand. So, Tony Khan needs to retire. And I said that in my fucking tweet. Go away. Go outside. Take a sip of beer. Sit in the closest ranch. Go up by the lake. Smoke a doobie. And look at the sun. And realize how great of a gift outside really is. Maybe get an education. Maybe step away. Bryan Danielson can handle everything. Fly, spread your tiny wings and fly away. Like, fuck off. Like, I don't know, man. It pains me how many people suck his dick this much. And I am expecting a lot of hate from this video. And me a year ago, I'd be so goddamn scared to make a video like this. But I don't give a fuck no more, man. To all you people, all you Tony Khan dick riders, welcome to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Anyways, this is going to have to do for my Tony Khan rant. We need to stop giving this piece of fucking shit the time of day. I don't... fuck this guy. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to turn post notifications on if you're new. Yeah, that's about it for me. This has been your boy, Willie Does Wrestling. I'll see you in the next video. Don't hinder Jinder, and peace.